First thing to remember, in a complete circle there are 360 degrees, and we're talking of angles of turn. So each of those is a particular angle of turn, and once we've turned all the way round to the beginning, that's a full circle, a full turn, which is 360 degrees. If we have a quarter of the circle, a quarter turn, that's a right angle, and that's 90 degrees. And there are 4 of those because it's a quarter. 90 is a quarter of a circle. 90 times by 4 is 360. 4 right angles makes 360 degrees, the full circle. Half a circle will be half of 360, which is 180 degrees. 2 lots of 180 is the full circle, 360 degrees. 3/4 of a circle, if we take the quarter out, 90, we can work out what's left from 360. 270 degrees is 3/4 of a whole circle. You could say 360, take away the quarter that's left, 90 degrees, leaves you with 270 degrees. One thing some of you may have noticed is that knowledge of your 9 times tables is really useful here. If you look at these first 4 multiples of 9, 9, 18, 27, 36. 90 times 4 is 360. 9 times 4 is 36. Because we've multiplied the 9 by 10, we can use that information to help us work out some of the angles in a circle. 180 times by 2 is 360. You may know that 18 times 2 is 36. So again, we've multiplied one of those numbers by 10, so our answer is multiplied by 10. 9 times 2 is 18, which means that 90 times by 2 is 180, which is 2 lots of 90. And 18 is 2 lots of 9. Adding on another quarter of a circle takes us to 270 degrees. 3/4 of a circle, if you remember that 3 times 9 is 27, that'll help you to remember that 3 times 90 is 270. And the full circle is 4 times 90, which is 360, and 4 times 9 is 36. Staying with this, if you remember that half of 9 is 4.5, 4.5, that will help you work out some other angles and fractions in a circle. If we halve each of those quarters, the angle of turn will be half of 90, and that's 45 degrees. 45 degrees is 1/8 of a circle, half of a quarter. Another useful one to remember is 1/3 of a circle. For 1/3 of 360 is 120. Useful to remember your 12 times tables here as well as your 9s. If you remember that 36 divided by 3 is 12, then 360 divided by 3 will be 120. So that angle there is 120 degrees, 1/3 of a circle. And again, we can cut that in half. Half of 120 is 60. 360 divided by 6 is 60. Useful to remember here that 36 divided by 6 is 6. When we halve 1/3 of a circle, that's 60 degrees for each 1/6 of a circle. Do you feel ready to have a test yet? You can pause the video after each question and have a go, and I will answer each one straight away. How many degrees to make a full circle? We've got half a circle, and that's 180 degrees. So we need another half of a circle, which is another 180 degrees. 1b. We have 90 degrees. How many degrees do we need to make a full circle? We've got a quarter, so we need 3/4. Remember, 3/4 of a circle is 270 degrees. Here we have 45 degrees. How many more degrees do we need to make a full circle? If we take the full circle is 360 degrees, take away the 45 we already have, that leaves 315 degrees to make a full angle of turn. What what fraction of this circle is shown by the angle 270 degrees. You can see that the missing bit is a right angle, so that's 90. That's a quarter of a turn. If you've got a quarter of a turn there, the bit left must be 3/4 of a turn. 90 is a quarter of a circle. 3 times 90 is 270. That's 3/4 of the circle. And finally, what fraction of this circle is shown by the angle 240 degrees? If you remember that 120 degrees is a third, 240 is twice as much, so that must be 2/3 of the circle. If you want to find more of my Maths YouTube videos quickly and easily, visit my website, click on the link for math videos at the top of the home page, scroll down for the section of maths you need, then click on the link for that playlist.